Is Jed York a good owner?
And I feel like this is it's a 5-word question, but I feel like it's super loaded. Like, what constitutes a good owner? Do you
Well,
have
let's say
to
what
win
he
a
does well.
championship?
Let's say what he does
Okay.
well.
Okay.
Let's do it like he spends.
He what?
spends. He spends. He spends
Oh, okay.
money. Like some owners either don't have it or don't want to do it, or he's not what you would call cheap. Like Dan Snyder is a bad owner. A very bad.
Okay.
And Bidwell down in Arizona is a bad owner.
Yeah.
Doesn't spend, cheap. Like that's not Jed. Especially with Kyle. He basically lets Kyle do whatever he wants. Can we stay over here for a week? Yes. Can I get Javon Hargrave? Yes. Can we go get Trey Lance? Yes. And there's no consequences. So on that Jed is great at that. And I think Kyle came from Washington. He worked for Dan Snyder. He knows how bad it can be. And from his perspective, it could get a lot worse than Jed York. At least he cuts the check and says yes all the time. Those are the good things about Jed York.
Who would you consider a really good owner in the league?
Really good owner in the league. Kraft, Lurie, Jerry Jones, Rooney in Pittsburgh. Like these are guys who are very strong, confident in what they're doing, guys who have accomplished a lot in their lives. And then you got little Jed York over here, who is just a living, breathing insecurity. And you could just see it all over his face. He's never accomplished anything in his life, and he knows it. He wants credit for stuff that he didn't really do. He's never been a champion. He's insecure about that. And it's just like that to me is the culture that he's created. That's the bad part about Jed. He's so freaking insecure. And all he cares about is what people are saying about the team and about him. And all he focuses on is controlling the narrative nationally and locally. And if people are saying good things about the Niners, he's happy. They've been to the NFC Championship 2 years in a row. He's way too happy that they didn't come through. He is insecure, and all he cares about is what people say, and you're not going to win a championship that way. Now, John and Kyle are very confident people who are not insecure, and they're trying to battle this culture. But he's the owner, and I think you got to be able to – he's the ultimate leader of this franchise, and you got to be able to make decisions that are unpopular sometimes, and he won't do it. He is not. He's been hated by the franchise. They've ridiculed him in the past. They like him now. He won't sacrifice that for anything. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like he went from one extreme to the other, because there was a time where he was too involved. It just seemed like his fingerprints were on everything. It's like, Jed, you don't know as much as you think you know. Chill out a little bit. Maybe let these guys make the decisions for you. I feel like that was a complaint we had for a while. Now it's like, we were just talking about the quarterback situation. Now you have no hands on. You went from having your fingerprints on everything to, I don't even want to smudge the glass here. I'm good. So you got to find that balance. I feel like he's learned, but he's learned to be too good the other way. He needs to get his hands dirty a little bit, be willing to have those tough conversations, assuming they're not happening. It sure doesn't feel like they are. I feel like he's improved. Has he improved? Yes. Would I say he's a good owner yet? I don't know if I would necessarily put him in that category. If we're talking about like the Snyder Rooney scale, I mean, he's definitely not Snyder. He's not even anywhere close to that, but he's not Rooney either. Like that, there's a big difference between those guys. So I don't know. I mean, he's above.
I don't think he has any conviction in what he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any conviction in what he's doing. He has no vision for what it takes to be successful. He's totally reliant on Kyle Shanahan. And so he's going to say yes to whatever Kyle Shanahan wants. He'll keep Kyle Shanahan here a long time. But ultimately, I feel like he's not driven enough to be a champion. He's not. He's driven to control the narrative. Yeah. And so, you got like constant gaslighting of fans. Like it's pretty clear that the Niners right now do not believe in Trey Lance for whatever reason. They seem really down on him. And they'll say it like, like he's getting. Jed is like over there. He can't give a straight answer at all. and they're going to hold on to him. And it just feels like that's Jed. You know, like we can't let people know that we made a mistake. I don't think Kyle cares that Kyle can make a mistake. John can make a mistake. Like they're confident enough in what they've accomplished and who they are and how good they are. They can be like, you know what? I was wrong about this. Let's move on. Jed can't take that. Jed can't take that. And I think he's the reason why the Niners hold on to certain. Jimmy Garoppolo was here for 6 years. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
exactly. Yeah.
To me, Kyle's is ruthless. Jed is not.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh,
Jed
man.
is desperate to be in the mix. I don't think Kyle cares.
I feel like Lynch is obviously a much more confident individual, but I feel like Lynch also doesn't like to be wrong. I feel like he's had a hand in this quarterback thing as well. I mean, Kyle basically said, "Yeah, man, I locked myself in the bathroom and cried in the cold shower for 3 days after we didn't get Kirk Cousins because you know they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo." So, and then Jimmy Garoppolo just stuck around and said,
"Yeah,
Kyle clearly
Jimmy was
him.
John Lynch's big thing, right? Kyle didn't want him. John was right. John made it happen, and so John could say, "Look, Jed, I got something to offer here too. I went out on a limb. I made it happen. I got us the franchise quarterback." And then Kyle sours on him. Kyle gets upset after 2020. Kyle probably convinces Jed, let's get someone else. And then you never really knew how John felt about that. You know, like Jimmy was his guy. Trey was brought in to get rid of his guy. How did John feel about that? Right? I mean, how could he like it?
Yeah. I
How
mean,
could he?
I don't know how Kyle feels. I mean, Kyle just seems like he's willing to
go with whoever.
Kyle's like a dog. He's like squirrel. New quarterback. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, he won't stop gushing over Sam Darnold. It's crazy.
Yeah. It is so weird. It's so weird.
Crazy. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah.
Poopy Pants says participation trophies more than Trey can get. You have to be good enough to participate in order to get one. Garoppolo fans still rubbing it in.
Hold on. I think I know who Poopy Pants is.
Who?
It's Colin Cowherd.
Oh, there it is.
Poopy Pants, dude. I'm sorry you did your daughter like that. He probably didn't mean it. It's fine.
No, if he was Kyle, would have been fired. Manny Fresh. Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, probably talking about Jed. Is he a good owner? No, if he was Kyle, he'd be fired. Got you.
Jay says, it's been almost 30 years. Do you guys think the Niners will win a Super Bowl under this regime? I'm not sure they'll win a Super Bowl under Jed, is what I'm trying to say. I feel like a lot of what I'm saying about Kyle and his lack of leadership, it might be a lot of Jed too. I mean, if the ultimate leader and your owner of your organization is an insecure guy who doesn't have what it takes to make the unpopular decisions to do it to win a Super Bowl, I don't know, man. You'll just settle for third place all the time. He's not in the same. You put him in the same room as Robert Kraft, Jeffrey Lurie, Jerry Jones. Like, he's a lightweight. He knows it. They know it. He's a lightweight. He knows it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
he's sitting at the table with Mark Davis with the haircut. He's sitting next to haircut boy guy.
He's sitting next to the guy that looks like an adult thumb. That's great.
Daniel Ailman says Darnold is a bluff. He's to add pressure and to prove the vets. Lance earned it. Pumping up Purdy doesn't matter. He's not relevant until healthy. I wish you were right, but I don't know that you are.
Yeah, but I do. I get the feeling that they'll just rush. As long as he's back before game one, they'll just trot him out there.
Yeah. Michael Monahan says, poor us. We have a quarterback that wins and 2 on deck. Hey, glass half full. Michael Monahan.
Sure.
Love it. J.R. Alcala says, bring back Eddie DeBartolo Jr. ASAP. LOL. Much love from the Central Valley of California. God bless my brothers. Yeah, Eddie.
You too, man.
I don't think Eddie wants to do it. How old is Eddie D? How old is Eddie
be in his
D?
70s.
Bartolo Jr. 76. Yeah, leave him alone. Nathan Flores says, hey, Jed, Kyle, and John, Niners fans are tired of the almost excuses, still waiting for a Super Bowl with the best roster in football since 2019. Rolling eye emoji.
Nathan, I don't get the feeling that Niner fans are tired of it. I mean, there's a segment that is, but I would say if you were to poll 49er fans, they would say that this regime has been a raging success.
Yeah. And I think Jed would say so too. Poopy Pants says, not sure why the Niners would have doubt when Lance is tucking and running in a passing drill and throwing to guys on the wrong field. Maybe he's really bad. Thanks, Poopy Pants. Tyler Caressley says, I feel like Jed is wanting the attention like Jerry Jones, but the only difference, Jed is much more insecure compared to Jerry Jones. That's fair. I mean, Jerry Jones wants the attention too. But also Jerry Jones has put together Super Bowl winners. Like Jerry Jones does have rings. I mean, Jed doesn't.
Yeah, he hasn't been great as of late, but he's been the owner the whole time when they did have rings.
Still, yeah.